Hi friends, Suzanne here. Welcome to another paper pumpkin alternative video on my YouTube channel and blog. If you're new to my channel, I want to say hi. This video will share alternative projects to stretch your paper pumpkin supplies. If you don't know what paper pumpkin is, click the link in the description box below and check it out. So come along with me as I attempt to create out of the box. Before we get started, I want to welcome the South Pacific and the European market to the paper pumpkin community. They will be able to get paper pumpkins starting the 1st of April. So if you know somebody in Australia, New Zealand, Germany, France, UK, Austria, and the Netherlands, hey, why don't share this video with them so that they too can have some fun with the alternatives. So this is the Fluttering Garden March 2026 paper pumpkin. Here are the instructions. Very simple. You can see how the cards are put together. One thing on the back, it tells you all sorts of information, as well as how you can purchase those dies that I think they're called Beautiful Blooms. Yes, Beautiful Blooms dies. The number is 16866 and 6. So this is the hummingbird. It's a stamp set, and in March we usually get 2 stamp sets, and I'm not sure why. Is it Stampin' Up's birthday? Not sure. Anyway, we have hummingbirds, and we also have some sentiments, as well as some florals. So here we are with the alternative card number 1. Now I do apologize, you guys. Last week I didn't post any videos. My internet was down. I did make mention in the community post. So if you ever are looking for me, either join me on Facebook, because I did mention my troubles there, and also on the community page here on YouTube. So again, I'm going to show off these colors that I'm working with. So we have a gorgeous grape piece of card, and that's 4 by 5 1/4. Then I'm working on a piece of basic white. It's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And the 3 colors that I blended on there was Pretty Peacock, Granny Apple Green, and Coastal Cabana. Now, this is something that I'm doing lately because it's bringing me back to my mixed media days. I had some ink left over on my non-porous surface. That is our new stamp positioner little mat that I laminated. And I had some ink left over there, so I got my Stampin' Spritzer, and then I'm sort of layering on the ink. This is called the smooshing technique, in case you wanted to know. Stampin' Up still sells those Stampin' Spritzers. One nice thing about Stampin' Up and the heat tool is that it has 2 settings. Setting number 1 is just to dry something. Setting number 2 is to emboss something. So sadly, you can't get these markers anymore. They're Stampin' Right markers, and if you do have the opportunity to pick up the full set, I would encourage you to. I'm still going to use them in my crafting because I purchased them. But what you could do if you wanted to get a similar look is just to get a re-anchor on an acrylic block, have a very tiny paintbrush, and sort of flick the ink onto the card. So this is the reason why I backed it on my gorgeous grape card. So we're going to put that on the card front, or the card base, I should say, that came in the kit. It's nice. There's nothing spectacular about it. I don't need to cut it in half unless I need to cut it in half. So we're going to use it today. Putting that double layer on the front is going to solidify everything. And look at that background that I made. And that was just basic white, you guys. So amazing that it can hold a little bit of water. You just need to let it dry. You can put it aside, or you can, like I did, use my heat tool, and I did sort of smooth out any roughness with my bone folder. So here's that card base that I was talking about. I am going to use it and cut it apart, the sacrificial lamb here. So I stamped with the basic gray the ink, and then I'm fussy cutting this out. You know that there has to be some fussy cutting, right? Like I gotta do it. I'm just putting Seal Plus as my adhesive. I want something strong so that it doesn't fall off. I also don't want to mess up my beautiful background. So that, you guys, with the embellishments that came in the kit. So yeah, that is card number 1. Now remember, you get to vote at the end, so you get to leave a little comment below, and yeah, you get to vote on which one was your favorite. This one's mine. All right, here we are. Alternative card number 2. So I have the same card base from the kit. And I mean, if you wanted to stretch your kit, what you could do is easily slice that in half and just use a card base, and then like a regular card base, and then put that as your card front. But I chose not to. So this is a piece of Designer Series paper that is 2.5 by 5.5, and that is a basic gray strip. That's 1.25, and the Designer Series paper is called Florals in Bloom. So I wanted a little bit of a white background, but I also wanted it to have flowers, because hummingbirds, or where I'm at, they like going into the blossoms and getting the nectar from the flowers. So I wanted to share that, and I didn't want to stamp it. So there you go. And here we are. We're adhering everything. I did use wet glue to put that strip on. You could have used an adhesive sheet or whatever. And now I have dimensionals on the back side of my hummingbirds. And yeah, we're going to place them like they're coming and getting a little snack from a flower. And I am again using the basic gray ink from the kit. And it was a simple hello. I actually really like this font. I think it's whimsical, and it's big enough that you don't have to have a lot of everything around it. I do like the sparkle dots. They look like they have like flecks of gold in them. Very, very nice. All right, so this again is card number 2. You guys get to vote at the end. You also, if you don't want to vote, you just go ahead and leave me a lovely comment below. I love hearing from you guys. I see the names often. Linda from Idaho. Hello, I know you're watching. Yeah, please go ahead and leave me a lovely comment below. All right, so here we have the envelope and a basic white thick card base, and that card base from the kit. Please meet Excalibur. Excalibur is my letter opener sword. It is full of magic, and you should see what it does off screen. I just love it. So I have carefully ripped apart my envelope. I often have said this is like Star Trek, and this is the yeoman that doesn't have a name. It's just like, you know, the guy in the red shirt that's going to get sacrificed. Envelopes are yeomen to me. Thank you. All right, so I am cutting this down to about 5.5 inches wide, and then I'm just going to leave it. I have just a regular 4 1/4 by 5.5 piece of that. There was like a quarter panel from that card kit, and it was a little difficult to do this, but I made it through. So this I'm ripping at about a 2.5 inches. I didn't even measure. I just went kind of where those flowers were. It's hard to sort of hold the envelope and the quarter panel together, but you can do it. And this is cool because what it's going to do, I'm just going to offset the papers a little bit. It gives it a little bit of interest, a little something that you're not expecting. So, and it's the same, I don't know how to say this. It's the same tear. So everything matches up. It looks like it's supposed to be there. So yeah, I've adhered those two pieces together, and now I'm going to adhere it on my basic white thick card base, and folding that in half and giving the score a nice crease. And now I'm going to adhere. I often like to adhere my card front to the like on a flat surface so that I know that at least that side is flat. If I have to adjust anything, sometimes I do, and I'll just cut it off of like one side or the other. So this one says birthday wishes, and I'm going with that, and I'm going to stamp that right on my basic white card. And then I have a little, two little hummingbirds that are facing to the right. So that one goes there, and then here's another one. It took me a minute finding that one, and that one goes up in the air there. So I didn't put any embellishments on this, you guys. So I, again, want to thank you so much for your patience for last week. I was AWOL. I had no internet. I couldn't do anything. Please know that I'm really sorry. Stuff happens, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Make sure you vote for your favorite and leave me a lovely comment below. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.